This is Drive with me, Jason Wilder, brought to you by the Belgian Beer Cafe, Phuket Graceland Resort and Spa. And something a little different and a little special now. I'm joined in the studio by Khun Voranai. Khun Voranai, Sawadee Krap, how are you?
Good afternoon, I'm good.
Excellent.
How about yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. I'm ready for the weekend, I think.
Right.
Ready for the weekend. Now, you're down here in Phuket. You're usually sort of hanging around in Bangkok.
Yes.
Now, could you give an explanation? Because you're down here to talk tonight at the IBAP, the International Business Association of Phuket sort of speech. Now tell us what you're here for and what you do.
Well, I am a writer for the Bangkok Post. I write commentaries on politics and societies, and I also teach at Thammasat University. And the reason why I'm down here is to give a speech on Thailand and the Thai democracy, or if there is such a thing. And this is my second year to be speaking at IBAP, so evidently they like what I said the last time. That's why they invited me over here.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure, because it's a curious subject, isn't it? Especially for people who maybe aren't originally from Thailand, who now live here, businesses here, pay taxes here, and want to know what exactly is going on, because I'm sure you'll agree. Now, you're known for being very outspoken and quite to the point as well about a lot of this. Now, I'm sure people want to know sort of if they're, settling here, what it's all about. So how do you explain what's your kind of schedule for your workshop with this talk?
For the talk tonight?
Yeah.
Well, basically the talk tonight, it was suggested that since there have been a lot of going on happening over the past 6 years in Thailand, and are things settling down? Are there some more disasters on the horizon in the near future? What is Thailand looking like right now? What is Thailand is going to be looking like in the next 2, 3 or 5 years? And I'm gonna give a talk on that topic, especially pertaining to the democratic development of Thailand, and see where we go from there. It all sound very serious stuff, Thailand and democracy and politics, but I'll try to keep it light and perhaps entertaining if possible. And
just give people the direct information, I think, is the important thing, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people are kind of still in a bit of they might have heard, yellow shirts, red shirts, political situation that's caused like the shutting down of airports, some sort of quite tragic sort of like losses to people's lives, the rioting and stuff. So will you go into that? Will you talk about past events also?
Oh, definitely. We have to talk about the past in order to understand the present, and try to find a path toward the future. So red shirt, yellow shirt, polka dot shirts, purple shirt, we'll talk all about all those shirts, touch upon them, and I think I guess that's one of the reasons why I get invited back down here, because my selling point is that I'm actually a Thai who's willing to be outspoken and say the things that you won't normally hear. I guess that have to do with my upbringing in Texas. I'm a bit of a cowboy attitude, so
well, this I think you're quite brave, because I said before we went on air, I was like, please don't make me talk too much about anything politics, because I'm scared of getting in trouble. Now, you don't seem to have that fear. You're kind of you write a lot with the Bangkok Post,
right.
Now, do they give you the backup? Tell us about what the situation there, how you feel sort of confident to do that.
Well, I have full support of the Bangkok Post, so they allow me to write whatever I like, as long as it's reasonable, logical, and I can back it up, and I think that's fair enough. And also, I think it's important to push the envelope and see how far you can get, and try to break the boundaries and try to get to the truth, whatever the truth may be. And I think that's part of my job in doing what I do. And but to be frank, to be honest about it, a lot of people say this, and I happen to agree that many times I get away with what I do simply because I write in English.
Right, okay.
Or the talk that I will give tonight in English. So that is a bit of a safety net, because as long as you speak in English, then people don't pay that much attention. And yeah, that helps. And
So would you say if you did a direct Thai translation of this, you might actually be picked up? Someone might actually go, hold on a second, Voranai's being a bit on the edge here. He might be saying things that we don't want people to know.
Some people might say that, but I believe that it could still work, because again, it will still be pushing the envelope, even if I write in Thai. And to be frank, nowadays you get a lot of writings and speeches in Thai that are very out there, are very on the edge, given the political divide, given the color-coded different sides and factions and what they write and say in their respective media. I think if we were to translate what I write into Thai directly or in my speech directly, I think people will raise eyebrow, but we can certainly get away with it and push that envelope and offer an alternative for the consumption of the people in regarding to what's going on.
And you feel people are hungry? Because I feel honoured and proud to say that I've got quite a lot of Thai friends here since I've lived here in the 6 years I've been here. Now it seems like there's a lot of modern thinking now as well with younger Thai people. There used to be a bit of a clouded sort of like scenario where people wouldn't know. Now you must have seen that come through in the years, sort of, that people are now sort of saying we need people like Khun Voranai to tell what's going on direct. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people say that Thailand cannot change or hasn't changed much, but I would argue over the past 10 years and definitely the past 6 years, Thailand has changed a lot. We just don't recognize it or notice it. Now, change for the better, change for the worse, it depends on who you ask. I think right now, Thailand is kind of like that Russian novel, Father and Son. I read it, forgot who wrote it. Was it Dostoevsky? Whoever.
Probably I'd go for that.
Meaning that, you know, the father is of the old generation. He likes the way things are. He doesn't like to change. But the son, he graduated from college. He travels around the world. He comes back home. He wants to change. And there's a conflict between the father and the son. And I see that between the older generation Thai and the newer, younger generation Thai, who want different things, going different ways. And hopefully somehow we work things out to be compromised and can march forward together. And that's very important.
Yeah, it is, because I think from my experience of travelling many places, the value of respect in Thailand is just incredible, especially for older and younger, sort of like the meeting of the minds sort of thing. So definitely that's something that's got to be assessed. Now, I'm going to just remind people this Khun Voranai is going to be speaking tonight at the IBAP International Business Association of Phuket meeting. That's going on tonight at 6:15 p.m. at the Royal Phuket Marina.
Yes.
Okay, so any of our listeners, if you'd like to go down and actually hear Khun Voranai speak, then that's where you need to be tonight. We're going to take a short break, Khun Voranai. Stay with us for a little while, and we'll carry on continuing, because I'd like to discuss as well your metaphor for the school that could be seeing the school kids and where Thailand stands in that. Okay, we're back just in a short moment. Right, this is Drive with me, Jason Wilder, and I'm joined in the studio with Khun Voranai, who is here to talk tonight about Thai politics at the IBAP meeting, which is, we'll remind everyone, is at the Royal Phuket Marina, and it's at the kind of Royal Phuket Marina restaurant. There is signposts once people get in. Give us a rundown again on what kind of thing you will be speaking about and what you do, Khun Voranai.
Well, I get a lot of comments from both Thai people and expats that they want change, they want it now, they want to see Thailand become a developed democracy tomorrow, the next week, the next year, so on and so forth. And a lot of time, this group of people, sometimes they believe Thailand is the worst place in the world. No freedom, no democracy, no nothing. So I try to tell everyone to calm down and picture everything in context. You know, picture the world like a high school classroom in America, where you have the quarterback, and that would be the US, and you have the water boy, that will be England, and every English people will get mad at me for saying that.
I'll go with it. We ruled the oceans and the seas of the world at one point.
So at one point,
the water boy, yeah.
You have the geeks, the freaks, the nerds, the so on and so forth. You have the outcast, that's probably the Middle East. You have that one kid that might one day bring an AK-47 to class, that probably is North Korea. And then you have Thailand, and who is Thailand? You know, Thailand, I would liken her to a cheerleader. She's pretty, she's hot, she's popular. She doesn't make the best grade, but she's a solid C+, B- student. You know, she's average. She's not that great. She's not that bad. But she's hot. She's popular. She's got a lovely smile, and everybody loves her. Of course, you know, she'll gossip about you behind your back, but you do the same thing with her, right? But the great thing about her is, you know, she nice to everybody. She can be a friend to everybody, and she never say no to a date. That's the great thing about Thailand. And then, of course, you marry her and put your house in her name and put your business in her name, and then a couple of years later she divorced you and take your house and your business, and that's why maybe a lot of people are angry about Thailand.
Okay, and so this is your this is written down on your
mine is the last part. The last part was just a jab against the expats, but I'm saying Thailand is right now average. We're not that great, we're not that bad. Perhaps one day we'll become much better, but not anytime soon. That's the reality
It's
of
true.
it.
This is a very interesting metaphor for Thailand, because I agree with a lot of it. It is the most amazing. She has the most amazing smile, and she's dazzling and very nice people. But also, like you say, there are some little bits like the back talking behind someone's back, and also the potential. I think not always going to have. You know, we can't say 100% that she's going to rip off the guy who's stupid enough to marry her, but the potential is there.
Right.
So this is where you're coming in to say about democracy, and this could be seeing a change, and for what the future of Thailand could be as a player on the big scene as well.
Right.
Because more and more that cheerleader is getting a little more education.
Definitely.
And seems to be having some of the water boys and the geeks and the jocks and the other sort of intellectuals of the school, as you're saying, to be giving advice to the cheerleader. So
Right.
this is it's an interesting. I like the way you've likened it to a big, because the world is basically a big school, isn't it? You know, and it's
Basically, yeah.
And so I like what you've done there, Khun Voranai. That's very interesting. So this is the kind of thing you're going to be talking about tonight. You're going to kind of liken it to this kind of thing, but obviously you're going to be giving straight facts as well. Now, what's the biggest kind of political movements going on at the moment in your mind, in the world of sort of Thai politics?
Well, in Thai politics right now, we are seeing the maneuvering by what I call the Chinawat political machine. And that's a compliment, by the way. Some people think it's a criticism, but to me it's a compliment. It's a political machine, able to win elections after elections, no matter the military coup d'etat, no matter the court decision to ban this party or that party. Well, we're seeing that machine trying to more and more to consolidate power with the different government agencies, making overture to the military. They already, as many people would allege, have the police in the pocket, so on and so forth. Now, of course, it depends on who you ask. This may be a good thing if you're on one side. This may be a bad thing if you're on another side. But me, I'm just telling as I see it. So this is development that's going on right now. How successful would that be over the next 2 or 3 years? What are the impacts? What are the significance? What does that mean for Thailand as a country? What's the future holds? All of these things will be discussed tonight, hopefully, without the police come knocking, because
Yeah, because it can be dangerous, you know.
it can be.
Because I've got to say, the cheerleader does have a reputation.
Oh, she does. She can be vicious. She can be quite vicious.
And that reputation is, not to be messed with sometimes. So,
Right.
So much fair play to you. But and then of course you'll be, after you've talked, after you've given your take on how things are and how things can be, and explaining sort of some of the more, the details of the ins and outs of government in Thailand. I guess do you open the field then for everyone to give their comments? Does it turn into like a debate? Yeah.
I make it a point to open up the floor, and anyone have questions, comments, criticisms, arguments, I'm happy to entertain everything, and I will try to respond as honestly and as respectfully as possible. And I think that's in the spirit of democracy and freedom of speech, which we should try to do more and more, and set an example in this society. Talk, exchange ideas, exchange dialogues. We don't have to agree with each other. We might even hate each other a little bit, but still we can talk to each other intelligently and respect each other's opinions.
Well, this is because overall you're a main speaker and sort of like a political commentator, and kind of your journalism's kind of in there, isn't it? You're going to have a lot of journalists in there, sort of like wanting to give their opinion as well. So yeah, just a reminder that is going on tonight. Khun Voranai, I'll try and say your surname,
Voranai Vanijaka.
Vanijaka. Okay. And so, Khun Voranai, you are going to be talking tonight at the IBAP, the International Business Association of Phuket, at Royal Phuket Marina. Starts at 6:15. Any of our listeners, go down. You're welcome to go down and listen to the wisdom and the knowledge of Khun Voranai, and then obviously give your opinions as well towards the end of the night. Khun Voranai, thank you very much for coming in and having a chat with us.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with your evening. I hope you get the message across.
I hope so too. I'll take tips also.
And good luck. Well, we make sure that cheerleader's got my number.
You can throw money on the stage if you like.
Okay, thank you.